Spoilers are coming!
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Jon Snow.
And I'm the Night King.
And you're watching GOTV.
Coming up this week, the Night King uses his magic javelin to kill Viserion, but he doesn't stay dead for long.
The Suicide Squad capture a Wight, but not before suffering an unbearable loss.
Sansa and Arya just can't put the past behind them.
And Jon finally bends that knee. Well, sort of. Have you recovered from that episode of Game of Thrones yet? Because we're still reeling. Thoros is dead, Jon's bent the knee, and Viserion's been murdered and resurrected by the Night King.
What an episode. I mean, this bloke, he got up to some serious mischief.
Mischief managed.
I mean, it was like, hey guys, do you think you can hit that dragon? Hold my ice-cold drink while I take my magic javelin and bring down probably one of the most well-loved characters.
Well, one of the unnamed two dragons that aren't Drogon.
Yeah, if you weren't sure, it was Viserion, not Rhaegal, who was taken down.
I mean, this is what happens with parental neglect. You know, Daenerys has not been paying enough attention to Viserion, and now he's wandered off and he's gotten himself into trouble. It was really inevitable. It's a very sad state of affairs.
It was quite a scene at the end as well when all the Wights, I mean, where did they get those chains from, first off?
Yeah, they were doing an impromptu remake of Les Mis, I think.
Yeah, it's like, what was it? What's this?
Look down.
Look down, look down, pull up Viserion.
It's pretty good.
Because Daenerys is now gone. But obviously, yes, Viserion seems to have been resurrected with his blue eye. Will he wreak havoc? Will he cause mischief and mayhem? And will the Night King use him to bring down the wall?
Yeah,
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know if he can still breathe fire. I mean, fire's usually a bit...
Can he breathe ice?
That'd be pretty cool, but then that would just make the wall thicker, which probably is
Possibly.
like not their
Going
their
against
main goal.
what the White Walkers actually want. This is homemade.
You can't tell, you can't tell. We had the props department working on it for weeks.
Getting back to the episode itself though, we did see what has been dubbed, I think, across the internet, essentially the Suicide Squad of Jon, Thoros, Beric, Gendry,
The Hound,
Tormund, and
Jorah.
And Jorah, yeah, all going across to fight the Wights and really landing themselves in a whole lot of trouble, which you could have seen coming a mile off.
Yeah,
and it was a pretty silly plan.
I don't know why Jon has this reputation for being such a great military commander, because he's constantly finding himself surrounded by enemies and saved by vastly superior forces like the Knights of the Vale last series and the Dragons this series.
This is the problem with heroes, as Danny said, you know,
They're
big heroes.
Yeah.
Or heroes who are too short. What a joke, poor Tyrion.
Yeah, that's not fair. It's not nice at all.
No.
But yeah, Jon and his crew, I mean, things were going quite well. They were all bonding, they were all having a nice chat, but then they got themselves surrounded by Wights. Only Dany could save them, but then they couldn't save Dany's dragon.
No, and we did see Jon feeling quite repentant for that on board the ship with his wounds that have not yet healed, because what says, ooh, Dany, come jump me, like a six-pack and some knife wounds?
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether she was more entranced by the knife wounds or the sculpted abs, really.
Yeah, but he did theoretically bend the knee. He
yeah.
did say, you know, if Dany won't do, how's my queen?
Oof, yeah, good accent. Yeah, so that's quite a game changer, isn't it? I mean, Jon's kind of agreed to work with Dany. Dany's agreed to work with Jon. And now they're headed down to King's Landing for next week's episode, which is exciting.
And I mean, while all these major developments are happening, Sansa and Arya are still having like a little sibling spat up in Winterfell, because obviously Arya's found the letter.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, that whole storyline. It kind of came out of nowhere. I felt like they just needed to give them something to do.
Yeah.
Because they're both very easily manipulated by Littlefinger here, and it's kind of, obviously Sansa is going to write that letter when she's captured and under pressure, and it was so long ago. I mean, the people she was writing to were all dead. It's just a weird storyline. But look, I'm sure they'll resolve things in the series.
And it does feel like it's building up to some sort of clash between the two and possibly Littlefinger.
Yeah, maybe Littlefinger will be the one in trouble.
A little bit of Peter in the middle. It's not quite as ringy as Piggy in the middle.
But it's pretty close.
But who knows?
Who knows? I mean, maybe Sansa and Arya will be the ones coming to blows. I'd probably put my money on Arya, but you never know. Oh God, we completely forgot. In all the chat about Viserion dying, there was actually a human who died.
Oh yeah.
Thoros.
Poor Thoros.
Thoros of Myr. I mean, I feel like his death lacked a little impact because he vanished from the series for so many years, and then only came back briefly last year.
That bear scene was awful though.
Oh yeah, that was
I watched
creepy.
that on my desk, and I looked around the side of my computer and I was like, no, it was just unbearable. Oh God, I didn't mean to pun. The Night King is influencing me.
Yeah, I mean, I did quite like the detail that Jorah, whose house is the bear, you know, it's the has more than their sigil as the bear, ended up killing it, which was kind of, I mean, it was already dead, but he ended up killing it more, which I thought was quite appropriate. And I also quite enjoyed the little, someone described it as the pan-searing, where they lit up one of their swords to kind of seal up his wounds a bit.
Well, I think that question for the week, can you make an undead thing even more dead? They may have to test that theory with Viserion.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough one. We've had a sneak peek at next week's episode, and we've got 3 questions.
Can Jon convince Cersei to fight the White Walkers?
Where's Daenerys?
And will her blue-eyed boy Viserion swoop in to wreak havoc?
Get the answers to all of these questions.
And so much more of our totally high-tech commentary and analysis.
Right here next week.
And every single day of the week at the home of TV and entertainment news, radiotimes.com.
Thanks for watching.
All men must die.